Yo, listen, before we even jump into this, let me say this from the heart. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what your past looks like, or what mistakes you've made. If you're here right now, watching this, you're exactly where you need to be. This isn't going to be one of those videos that talk to you like some guru up on a mountaintop, acting like they've got it all figured out. Nah, this is real, from one human being to another, because I've been there. I know what it feels like to want more, but feel stuck, to scroll through success stories online and think, how do they do it? Why not me? What am I missing? Let me tell you something. You're not missing anything. You don't need to be born rich. You don't need to have the perfect background. You don't need fancy degrees or followers or luck. You need one thing, a shift in your mindset. That's it. Because the real difference between where you are and where you want to be, it's not talent. It's not money. It's not connections. It's how you think. The people who make it, the ones who rise up, build something, create freedom for themselves and their families. Those people don't have magic powers. They just decided to start thinking different. And that's what we're talking about today. The mindset of a millionaire. But hold up. When I say millionaire, I'm not just talking about someone who's got 7 figures in the bank. That's great. That's a goal for sure. But this goes deeper than that. I'm talking about freedom. The ability to wake up and live life on your terms. To do what you love, help who you want, go where you want, and not have to ask permission. That kind of freedom doesn't start with money. It starts in your mind. That's where it all begins. So if you're here thinking, man, I'm tired of just existing. If you're sick of watching from the sidelines, feeling like life is just passing you by, then let me tell you something loud and clear. It's your time now. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start thinking like the person you want to become. Because the second you shift your mindset, everything around you starts to shift too. You start walking different, talking different, moving different. You stop playing small and start making decisions based on where you're going, not where you've been. That's the real power. See, millionaires don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They don't wait for motivation. They build discipline. They don't fear failure. They respect it because they know failure is just part of the path. And the beautiful part, you don't have to be born that way. You can learn it. You can train your mind to think like a winner. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. But listen, this isn't about being perfect. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. This is about becoming the realest version of yourself. The one who doesn't settle, the one who doesn't back down, the one who knows there's more out there and refuses to give up until they get it. You got that fire inside you, even if it's just a spark right now. You feel it. I know you do. You've been quiet for too long. You've been playing it safe. You've been shrinking to fit into places you've outgrown. But not anymore. This is the moment you start thinking big, dreaming big, moving like someone who's on a mission. Because you are on a mission to change your life, to break the cycle, to become that version of yourself that you've always imagined but never gave yourself permission to chase. Well, I'm giving you permission. More than that, I'm challenging you to show up, to think different, to act different, to demand more. Because once you change the way you think, you change everything. So let's go. This video, this moment, this message, it could be the spark that lights the fire. It could be the shift that starts it all. If you're still here, still watching, still locked in, then I already know something about you. You're not average. You're not a quitter. You're hungry. And that hunger, that desire for more, that's the first sign of a millionaire mindset. Let's tap in. Let's level up. Let's build the life you know you deserve. Ready? Let's get it. Let's break this down straight from the top. Millionaires, they just think different, not better, not smarter. Different. See, you might think being rich is about knowing the right people or having a lucky break or starting with money. And yeah, those things help. I'm not going to lie, but that's not what builds a millionaire. What builds a millionaire is mindset. Straight up. You want to know the real difference? It's how they process life. It's how they approach problems. It's how they see the world around them. Let me show you what I mean. Average thinking says, I can't afford that. Millionaire thinking says, how can I afford that? Average thinking says, that's impossible. Millionaire thinking says, what needs to happen to make it possible? Average thinking sees obstacles and turns around. Millionaire thinking sees the same wall and says, I'll climb it, I'll break through it, or I'll build a door. You see the difference? It's not about resources, it's about resourcefulness. Most people stop at the first sign of difficulty. They say, I tried. Millionaires don't stop, they adapt. They adjust, they figure out. They stay in the game long enough to win. And here's the crazy part. They start thinking like that way before the money comes. It's not the millions that make the mindset. It's the mindset that brings the millions. Let me say that again because it's real important. It's the mindset that brings the millions. You can give someone with the wrong mindset $1 million and they'll lose it. But you can take everything away from someone with the right mindset and they'll get it all back, plus more, because the way they think is built different. They think in solutions. They think in long-term plays. They think in risk and reward. They're not obsessed with being comfortable. They're obsessed with growing. See, most people want to feel safe. They avoid discomfort. They want guarantees. Millionaire mindset, they're like, give me the challenge. Give me the risk. I'll bet on myself. That's the difference. They don't need outside validation. They believe in themselves even when nobody else does. Even when the results aren't there yet. Even when people call them crazy. They're okay being misunderstood. They're okay walking alone if they have to, because deep down they know what they're building. They see the vision so clearly that it pulls them forward every single day. They don't wait for motivation. They create discipline. They don't wait for the right time. They move even when it's messy. And yeah, they have doubts. They have fears. They have rough days just like everyone else. But the difference? They don't let it stop them. They keep going. They keep learning. They keep showing up. They're playing the long game. While most people are chasing quick wins and instant gratification, millionaire thinkers are planting seeds. They're building foundations. They're setting themselves up for freedom. Not just a quick check. It's about legacy, not just luxury. Another thing, they're obsessed with growth. Not in a fake, Instagram motivation kind of way. I'm talking real growth. They read. They study. They ask questions. They listen. They hang around people who challenge them, not just hype them. They don't want to be the smartest person in the room. They want to learn from people who are further ahead. And when they mess up, they own it. No excuses, no blaming. They take responsibility because they know that the only way to grow is to face the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Now I know what you're thinking. But how do I start thinking like that? Simple. It starts with awareness. Catch yourself when you fall into the I can't mentality. Challenge it. Rewire it. Next time you say, I don't know how to do this. Flip it to, I'm going to figure out how to do this. Start asking better questions. Start talking to yourself with belief, not doubt. Start looking at your setbacks as setups. And be patient. This kind of mindset doesn't just happen overnight, but the more you train it, the more natural it becomes. Millionaires didn't come out the womb thinking like this. They trained their mind. They fed it with the right information. They surrounded themselves with people who thought bigger, and they kept showing up. So if you want to shift your life, if you want to unlock your potential, break the patterns, build the business, change your situation, it starts here, right now, with how you think. Because once your mind expands, once you start thinking different, you'll never go back to playing small again. Let's talk about something most people run from. Something that stops dreams in their tracks. Something that turns warriors into worriers. Failure. But here's the truth that the world doesn't talk about enough. Failure is not the end. Failure is part of the game. Matter of fact, if you're not failing, you're probably not even trying. See, the people you look up to, the millionaires, the success stories, the ones living the life you want, they failed more times than most people have even tried. Let that sink in. They've lost money. They've made bad decisions. They've trusted the wrong people. They've launched things that flopped. They've had sleepless nights, empty bank accounts, and days where nothing made sense. But they kept going. You want to know the truth? Nobody who ever made it to the top got there without taking some LS along the way. The difference is they didn't quit when they lost. They learned. They adjusted. They came back stronger. Because that's what failure is. It's not a dead end. It's a lesson. It's the world asking, how bad do you really want it? And most people, they quit at the first bump in the road. They try something once, it doesn't work. And they go, see, I knew it. I'm not cut out for this. Nah, you're just learning. You're just getting started. You don't build confidence by getting everything right. You build confidence by surviving the moments when everything goes wrong, and you keep going anyway. That's what builds grit. That's what builds belief. That's what builds a kind of mindset that doesn't fold under pressure. Let me break it down for you. When you fail, you're not going backward. You're building a foundation. Every time something doesn't go as planned, you're learning what not to do next time. You're learning how to move smarter, how to see things clearer, how to trust your instincts. Failure is literally the gym for your mindset. It's where strength is built. It's where you stop being scared of discomfort and start getting addicted to growth. You know what's really scary? Living a life where you never try because you're afraid of failing, never starting the business, never launching the idea, never making the call, never going after the dream, all because of what if it doesn't work out? But what if it does? What if your biggest failure is the exact thing that leads you to your biggest breakthrough? What if the doors you're praying to open don't open until you hit rock bottom and decide to climb your way back up with purpose? Because I promise you, when you get to the top, you'll realize it wasn't the easy wins that made you great. It was the losses, the nights you cried, the days you doubted yourself but showed up anyway, the moments where everyone told you to quit, but your heart whispered, not yet. That's what builds champions. That's what builds millionaires. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. You want success? Then make peace with failure. Shake hands with it. Invite it in, because it's coming whether you like it or not. So you might as well learn how to use it. Let failure fuel you. Let it humble you. Let it sharpen you. Let it teach you what no textbook, no course, no mentor ever could. And don't be ashamed of your losses. Wear them like armor. Own them. Talk about them. Because someone out there needs to hear that you failed and still made it. That's real power. That's inspiration. Too many people only show the highlight reel. The cars, the wins, the trophies. But they don't show the tears behind the scenes. I'm telling you now, it's okay to fall. Just don't unpack there. Don't make failure your identity. Make it your fuel. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to keep going, to learn, to evolve, to keep showing up until the thing you want finally shows up too. So next time you fail, smile. You're getting stronger. You're becoming the version of you that can handle the life you're building. Because let's be real, success is not about how fast you get there. It's about how many times you're willing to stand up after life knocks you down. And if you've been knocked down lately, good. That means you're in the arena. You're in the fight. You're not on the sidelines. That means you're in it. Now get up, dust yourself off, take the lesson, and go again. Because millionaires, they don't fear failure. They use it, and so can you. Let's be real about something most people don't tell you. Before the success comes, before the money comes, before the results show up, you gotta believe. Even when it looks like nothing's working. Even when you've got more doubts than answers. Even when the world doesn't believe in you. And honestly, even when you don't fully believe in yourself yet, that's when it matters most. See, Millionaire Mindset isn't just about doing the work. It's about having the vision. It's about being able to close your eyes and see it. Even when nobody else can. The people who make it, the ones who build the life, build the business, build the freedom, they all had to go through this part. That uncomfortable, scary, lonely stretch of the road where nothing is guaranteed, and you feel like you're talking to a wall. But guess what? They believed anyway. They believed when their bank account said $13.27. They believed when they had no support, no audience, no experience. They believed when people laughed at their dreams. They believed when nothing they were doing was showing results. Yet, you know why? Because belief isn't based on what's around you. It's based on what's inside you. Listen, every single thing that exists in this world, every business, every invention, every company, every success story, it all started as a thought, just an idea in somebody's head. Nothing you see around you is real until somebody believed in it enough to bring it to life. So let me ask you something. What are you carrying inside you that you haven't brought to life yet? What dream are you sitting on because you're waiting to feel ready? What idea are you ignoring because it's not real yet? You got to stop waiting to see proof before you move. You've got to believe first. That's the secret. Success doesn't show up and then you start believing. You believe and then success shows up. That belief, it's the engine. It's what drives everything else. Because here's the truth. There are going to be days when you don't feel motivated. There are going to be days when you're tired, drained, discouraged. There are going to be days when you question everything. And if you don't believe deep down, you'll give up. But if you've got that unshakable belief, you'll find a way. Even if it's messy, even if it's slow, even if nobody claps for you, you'll keep moving. You'll keep building. You'll keep becoming the person that your dream needs you to be. And listen, I'm not saying it's easy. Believing in yourself when everything is telling you not to, that takes courage. That takes faith. Because it's hard to keep believing when you're not seeing the results yet. People around you are doubting you. The numbers aren't growing. The feedback is quiet. The plan keeps changing. But guess what? All of that is part of the journey. Every person who ever built something real had to walk through that fire. So, yeah, it's going to test you. It's going to stretch you. It's going to make you question everything. But that's the part where most people quit. And that's exactly where you need to dig deeper. That's where you double down on belief. Because belief gives you vision. And when you have vision, you don't need validation. Let me say that again. When you have vision, you don't need validation. You don't need a million likes. You don't need your friends to get it. You don't need the world to pat you on the back. You just need you. You and that burning desire in your chest that says, I'm not going to settle for average. That belief, it's what gets you out of bed when it's dark and cold and nobody's watching. It's what makes you try again after a loss. It's what keeps you up at night. Not because of stress, but because you're excited about what you're building. And you know what the wild part is? The day will come where that belief starts to pay off. The money starts coming in. The people start noticing. The results start showing up. And everyone's going to say, wow, how did you do it? And you'll smile because you believe before anyone else did. That's power. That's legacy level thinking. So if you're watching this right now and you're doubting yourself, let me remind you, you are capable. You are worthy. You are ready. Even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Even if you're scared. Even if you failed a dozen times. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're not too far behind. You just got to believe. Believe in the vision. Believe in the process. Believe in who you're becoming. Because once you believe it, you'll start to see it. And once you see it, it's only a matter of time before the world sees it too. Let's go. Let me be blunt. Nobody's coming to save you. You want to change your life? You got to move. You got to stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. You start now, where you are, with what you have. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Do the thing. Post the content. Start the business. Reach out. Take the shot. Action kills fear. Every single move you make builds momentum. And momentum, that's where the magic lives. This one's important. You can't grow if you're surrounded by people who don't believe in growth. Millionaire Mindset isn't just about you. It's about your environment. You got to be around energy that lifts you, challenges you, inspires you. Cut off the noise, the doubt, the drama. Start feeding your mind with people who talk goals, not gossip. People who dream big and move big. And if you don't have those people yet, be that person for yourself until they show up. You made it to the end. That means something. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you is ready. Ready to grow, ready to build, ready to become the person you know you can be. This is your moment. Don't let it pass you by. Millionaire Mindset isn't just about money. It's about freedom. It's about ownership. It's about you living your truth and building something real. So get up, move different, think different, believe different, act like the person you're becoming. Starting now. And hey, if this hit you, drop a comment. Subscribe if you're ready to level up. This is just the beginning. You're not alone. Let's rise together. I'll see you at the top.